You're doing the bicep curls, the squats, moving the weight, but not feeling the muscle. Does that sound familiar? You're going through the motions, but the muscle you want to grow just isn't firing. You feel it in your lower back, you feel it everywhere except the target muscle. This is the missing link, and today we're finding it. Welcome to Levitas. That missing link is called the mind-muscle connection, or MMC. Now, I know it sounds a little like bro science, but I'm here to tell you it's one of the most clinically backed, evidence-based tools you are probably not using. It is the neurological difference between just lifting a weight and intentionally building a muscle. So I have to ask, what's the one exercise you struggle to feel the most? Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear about it. And as always, please do the channel a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, so let's get right into it. What is the mind-muscle connection? When we say mind-muscle connection, we are talking about a very real, very tangible neurological process. Think of it like a phone line from your brain, specifically your motor cortex, down to the individual muscle fibers or motor units. When you decide to contract a muscle, your brain sends an electrical signal down that line. A strong mind-muscle connection means you have a crystal clear, high-speed, fiber optic connection. The signal is precise. A poor connection is like having bad cell service. The signal is weak, it's fuzzy, and your brain just says, just get that weight up, I don't care how. The amazing part? This connection is trainable. It's a skill. In fact, a classic study from the Cleveland Clinic back in 2004 by Ranganathan and colleagues had participants just visualize, just think about, exercising their little finger muscle 5 days a week. They didn't move it at all. The result? The group that practiced this mental workout increased their actual measurable strength by 35%. The control group saw no change. That is the power of your brain. That is the mind-muscle connection. Secret number 1. So if your brain can build strength just by thinking, imagine what it can do when you intentionally focus during a real lift. This brings us to the most important study on the topic. When you lift, you have two choices for your focus, external or internal. An external focus is move this dumbbell from point A to point B. Your brain is focused on the object and the outcome. An internal focus is squeeze my bicep, squeeze it harder, squeeze it until it causes the dumbbell to move. Your brain is focused on the muscle and the sensation. In a landmark 2018 study led by hypertrophy experts Brad Schoenfeld and Brett Contreras, researchers split participants into two groups. Both groups did the exact same workout. Group 1 was told to use an internal focus, to think about squeezing the muscle. Group 2 was told to use an external focus, to just think about getting the weight up. After 8 weeks, the results were staggering. The internal focus group, the squeezers, saw significantly greater biceps growth. We're talking 12.4% growth versus just 6.9% in the other group. They did the same work, but their intention doubled their results. This is the first and most critical technique. Visualize the muscle you are working. See it contracting and lengthening. Focus on the sensation. Secret number 2. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. If I focus that hard on squeezing, I can't lift as heavy. And you are exactly right. That brings us to our next critical point. You must drop the ego to build the connection. Ego lifting, or lifting more weight than you can handle with good form, is the enemy of the mind-muscle connection. Think about it. When a weight is too heavy, your brain switches into survival mode. Its only goal is to move that weight by any means necessary. So, when you try to do a heavy bicep, your brain doesn't just call on the bicep. It screams, "Help! All hands on deck!" And your shoulders, your lower back, and your hips all jump in to swing that weight up. The bicep barely got the signal. To build the connection, you must lighten the load. You have to use a weight that you can control, rep by rep, from start to finish. And don't worry, a foundational 2015 study, also by Dr. Schoenfeld, proved that lifting lighter weights in the 30 to 50% of 1 rep max range, taken to muscular failure, resulted in equal muscle hypertrophy compared to lifting heavy weights. So please, hear this. You have clinical permission to lower the weight, focus on your form, and build that connection, knowing you are still building muscle. Secret number 3. Once you've lightened the load, you now have the ability to control the rep. And that control is where the magic happens, specifically in two parts, the eccentric and the pause. First, the eccentric phase. This is the negative or the lowering part of the lift. We are so focused on the concentric, the lifting part, that we just let the weight drop. But this eccentric phase is arguably more important for muscle growth. It's where a lot of the muscle damage and signaling for repair happens. A 2017 review in the journal Sports Medicine confirmed the high importance of eccentric training for building muscle. So, the technique is simple. Slow it down. Use a 3-second negative. If you're doing a dumbbell press, push up in 1 second and then count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000 as you slowly lower it. Feel the muscle fight gravity. Second, add a pause. At the point of peak contraction, the top of a bicep curl, the bottom of a squat, the top of a lat pull down, don't rush. Pause for 1 full second. Squeeze. Squeeze that muscle as hard as you can. This combination of a slow eccentric and a peak pause dramatically increases the muscle's time under tension, and it forces your brain to stay connected to that muscle for the entire rep. Secret number 4. Okay, so you've lightened the weight, you're slowing down, and you're focusing. But what if you still can't feel it? This is common with muscles we can't see, like our lats or hamstrings. In this case, it's time to get hands-on. This is called a tactile cue. And it's as simple as it sounds, you touch the muscle you want to work. If you're doing a one-arm lateral raise, take your other hand and place your fingers on your working shoulder. Feel the deltoid muscle contract under your skin. A 2012 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that when participants doing a glute bridge were given a simple tactile cue, a tap on the glutes, it significantly increased the activation of both the gluteus medius and maximus. Touching the muscle sends a brand new secondary signal to your brain, essentially saying, "Hey, right here, this is the spot I want you to work." You can also use this principle between sets. Instead of scrolling on your phone, take a moment and just flex. Flex the muscle you just worked. Feel the pump. This keeps that neural phone line open and active for your next set. Secret number 5. All of these techniques, visualization, lighter weight, slow tempo, tactile cues, are incredibly powerful. But they all rely on one final non-negotiable foundation, a focused environment. You cannot build a mind-muscle connection in a distracted state. You can't be fully in your bicep while you're also in your social media feed. Your phone is the single greatest enemy of your mind-muscle connection. Before your workout, put it on Do Not Disturb and put it away. Practice this mindfulness. The gym is your time. This focus starts before you even lift a heavy weight. It starts with your warm-up. Your warm-up is not just 10 minutes of cardio. It's activation. Use those 5 or 10 minutes to do light, bodyweight versions of your main lifts, and practice all of these principles. Before you squat, do 15 glute bridges, squeezing at the top for 3 seconds. Before you bench press, do 20 band pull-aparts, visualizing your rear delts. This primes the phone line. It wakes up the connection so that when you do get under the bar, your brain and your muscles are already in conversation. So, let's bring this all together. The mind-muscle connection is not woo-woo or bro science, it's neuroscience. It is the skill of turning your brain into your most powerful tool for muscle growth. Building it requires you to set aside your ego, lighten the weight, slow down your reps, and focus with intention. It's about using tactile cues, visualizing the muscle, and creating a mindful, distraction-free environment. It is the sustainable path to training smart. It turns every single rep into a targeted, effective stimulus for growth. It truly is the difference between working out and training smart. So the next time you're in the gym, I want you to remember this. Don't just move the weight. Feel the muscle, connect with it. That connection is your new personal record. Share this with someone who needs to stop ego lifting. Watch this video suggestion. It was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.